Former Vice President Kamala Harris returning to the spotlight with a new book titled 107 Days, expected to detail her 2024 bid for the White House, oddly praising it as the shortest presidential campaign in modern history.
The number of pages in the book, way longer than her campaign. Sure. She joined Stephen Colbert to discuss her new venture while also dodging questions on the future of the Democratic Party.
I always believed that as fragile as our democracy is, our systems would be strong enough to defend our most fundamental principles. And I think right now that they're not as strong as they need to be.
Who's leading the Democratic Party? I'm just curious.
There are lots of leaders. And
there's generally a leader of the Democratic Party. You know, like, oh, that's the leader of the Democratic Party. And who comes to mind?
I think there are a lot of, I'm not going to go through names.
Fox News contributor and senior writer for the Washington Examiner, Jo Concha, joins us now. Jo, so she has the book out, 107 Days, and it came on the heels of her announcing that she's not going to be running for governor, and the reason she gave last night was because democracy is broken right now, and she wants to go on a listening tour of the country instead. And you also heard her there say that she dodged the question about who the leader of the Democratic Party is. She says she doesn't want to name names to exclude any one individual. So what stood out to you in this interview?
Well, Carly, I guess going on a listening tour would be better than going on a speaking tour, because she clearly still has trouble doing that based on just those vague answers that she gave Colbert. It's amazing how little press we saw around her announcement not running for governor in 2028. This is the former vice president, the former Democratic nominee in 2024. It had barely made a ripple. And I thought I heard last night as well that she has no plans for now for running for president in 2028. And that's drawing a sigh of relief from Democrats, probably. And Republicans are probably profoundly disappointed in that decision. But that's a smart decision on her part, because the last time Democrats nominated the same nominee in two straight elections, it was 1952, 1956, Adlai Stevenson. He lost in 52 to Dwight Eisenhower. He lost even worse to Eisenhower in 56. That would be the same result for Kamala Harris. So the bottom line is that there is no appetite for a Kamala comeback. And watching Kamala on Colbert was like watching the Hindenburg land on the Titanic, because Kamala blew through $1.5 billion in those 107 days, and she got smoked by Donald Trump. And Colbert loses $40 million a year for his network just to have a tedious late-night therapy session for Democrats, and he'll be gone soon now as well. So Kamala and Colbert, maybe that's a future podcast, Todd, with two people just whining over wine. You got to love the potential.
Carly will listen to the podcast, not because of the content, but because she listens to every single podcast.
I love a
Somehow
podcast.
She has like 400 hours in her days. It's wild. So answer this question of who's going to be the leader of the Democratic Party. Some Democrats are looking at Zohran Mamdani is the next leader of the party, a socialist who once touted benefits for illegal immigrants as one of his greatest victories. Watch.
When I think of the greatest victories in Albany's this year, I think of the Excluded Workers Fund, a fund that was created for undocumented workers who are locked out of unemployment at the federal level and at the state level. And what this fund would do is provide some modicum of relief.
Joe, we can talk to the cows come home about our concern for him as the leader of the city, but the fact remains citizens who are actually allowed to vote, actual citizens of the city of New York, still support this guy overwhelmingly, despite him literally giving away their money to illegals. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and he wants to seize property and then make it into homeless shelters. And that's pretty interesting, considering that his rich family in Uganda literally owns private property. So, again, you could go through, as you said, the litany of things why this person, a communist, basically should not be mayor of the biggest and most complex city in the country. And yet he is not winning overwhelmingly, but all he needs is like 33, 34%. And if there's going to be three other candidates splitting the rest of that vote, he's your next mayor. So it's just a scary prospect. And I just wish media members, when you do interview this guy, play back all these clips that we're playing and say, this is what you firmly believed. Do you still believe this now? And more importantly, and this is the big question, how are you going to pay for it? Because it doesn't seem to have a good answer around that.
Joe, we also want to talk to you about this. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has announced that today is officially Hulk Hogan Day in Florida because Hulk Hogan lived there. He's going to be lowering the flags at the Capitol. And you were a part of the Life of Hulk Hogan, which is now available on Fox Nation. So I'm sure you have some thoughts on this.
Oh, sure. Well, yes, he absolutely deserves his own day. This is an icon of the 80s and beyond. When you think of MAGA, think of Hulk Hogan first, a man who embraced Americana and wore it literally on himself, and just a larger-than-life figure, not just in terms of height, but in terms of charisma and putting the WWE and the WWF at the time on the map. The Life of Hulk Hogan is available now on Fox Nation. This is wonderfully produced and put together quite quickly. It was an honor to be a part of it, guys.
I just don't think people understand, for people of our age, Joe, like, he was the star of the 80s. And I think for the young people, they don't realize what an impact he made on all of us growing up. But they can watch the special hosted by Brian Kilmeade and find that out. Joe, go out there and make it a great weekend. But not just Joe. I want all of you in America to do that.
That's right.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.